Do you have the courage to be spiritual? Hi, I'm Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind. And the question of the day is, do you have the courage to be spiritual? I ask that because in today's secular society, being spiritual can make you an outcast, actually. We live in a society where it now seems fashionable to belittle other people if their behavior or ideas or race or sex doesn't fit in with what the dominant society feels is appropriate. Uh, People are being ridiculed, made fun of for daring to wear a mask in order to protect them from the COVID-19 virus. Something called critical race theory is based on shaming people because they happen to be born with white skin. On the other side of the coin, I can remember being followed by security when I entered an upscale retail store because I'm black, despite the fact that I could afford to shop there. I've seen my son ridiculed as a silly dreamer because many of those around him believe he's wasting his time while he's in the mentally demanding process of inventing something they have never seen before. I've seen my niece, who's in the military, being forced to be even more by the book than the men who she supervises, hundreds of men that she is in command of, only because she is a woman. And I can remember being called a wimp because I wouldn't agree to commit an act that I knew I would regret later because of the line it crossed. This is what we're facing today. Please click on the thumbs up button below. And if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe, which is down in the corner there. And I'd love to hear your comments, thoughts, and suggestions and ideas. So if you're viewing this live, please use the chat box on the right side of the screen. Otherwise, if you're viewing this in replay, use the comments section below. Got all my points done. Now, some organized religions are under attack because of the transgressions of some of the authority figures within those religions. I understand that. That's one of the factors actually being cited as what is influencing people to step away from being affiliated with religions, with organized religion. You know, in the United States, we have dropped from a high of 73% who were affiliated with a religion. That's back in 1937 when they first started doing that measurement. Now, in 2021, it's reached a low of 47%. That's a drop of 26%. 26% have walked away from religion. 26% have walked away from religion. And that leaves openings for people like Bill Maher and Mike Marin to openly make fun of those who believe in God. And their support seems to be growing. So making fun of people who believe in God, who believe in a spiritual being, who believe in the spiritual process, making fun seems to become more and more an accepted way of behavior. Admittedly, people with a religious orientation are often avoided because they're moved to share their beliefs with others in the hope of awakening their spiritual fire. Many of them are charged with that task, actually. They're told to do it to spread the word as part of their spiritual practice. So they face resistance because of their missionary-type activities. And there are many jokes. We've heard them about Jehovah's Witnesses knocking on doors. We've heard about Mormon missionaries traveling across the country to preach the word. And Mormons, they even travel around the world. What I find interesting is that those who actually perform those so-called missionary duties, powerful people, because they've been able to build up a certain level of inner fortitude in order to do what they do, in order to go knocking on doors. It takes a lot of courage. In order to go to countries you've never been to before to spread the word, that takes a lot of courage. So those people who do that, they end up being some of the most courageous, goal-oriented, and successful people I've ever encountered. But today I'm not focused on those people. I'm not focused on the ones who are charged to spread their religion to spread the word. I'm focused on the many who quietly execute their spiritual practices without oversight, without authority, without the protection of a strong, organized, missionary-based religion. Those who proselytize are usually part of a strong organization that will protect and shield them and, to a certain extent, control them. No, I want to talk today to those of you who quietly pray in secret. I'm talking about those who read uplifting spiritual books or listen to spiritually oriented talks online or watch spiritual videos, or who quietly believe that God is in us all. Those are the people I want to talk to today. People who don't make waves trying to convert other people. No, they just deal with themselves. They are quietly spiritual. So you who often practice your spirituality alone or in very small groups, you're the ones I'm talking to. You who are not interested in convincing others to change their way of life, you're the ones I'm talking to. I want to address you because it's you who are our greatest hope to transform the world. It is you who are our greatest hope to help win this battle for the minds and hearts of the people. It is a spiritual battle. It is a spiritual war. You have the opportunity to become a light unto the world. Not by going out into the world and preaching and trying to change the minds of others or anything like that. You do it by bringing change within yourself, powerful change within yourself. Because you've chosen a spiritual path, you have the opportunity to help those around you. By committing yourself to a spiritual path, you help those around you because your practice makes you stand out in a crowd. And if you allow yourself to go deeply into the practice of aligning with infinite intelligence and going deep within yourself to begin to express a higher vibration of love, peace, and harmony, you're going to begin to attract others to you. Because as you learn to live in a space of love, peace, and harmony, and you're willing to share the energy of forgiveness, your electromagnetic field is going to expand. Your electromagnetic field. Now, what I'm talking about here is this. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field. But you know what? That electromagnetic field, which goes out from your body by several feet, that electromagnetic field is going to be influenced very strongly about how you are. If you're living in a state of fear and anxiety and not so much peace, then your field is going to be a small one. But if you live in a state of love, you live in a state of love, peace, and harmony. If you live in a state where you are elevating your vibration, then your field is going to be wide. And it's going to encompass a lot of space around you. And the people who enter that space are going to feel it. They're going to feel your love. So, I'm encouraging you to build up that part of yourself, that vibration of yourself. I encourage you to stand up for love. I'm encouraging you to become a spiritual warrior. Now, the term spiritual warrior is used in Tibetan Buddhism to identify one who combats the universal enemy, which is self-ignorance, the ultimate source of suffering, according to Buddhist philosophy, self-ignorance. Another definition of a spiritual warrior is a heroic being with a brave mind and ethical impulse. Different from other paths which focus on individual salvation, the spiritual warrior's only complete and right practice is that which compassionately helps other beings with wisdom in order to liberate them. The term is also used generically in esoteric terms and in self-help literature, where the spiritual warrior is one with an illuminated heart and one who aspires for enlightenment or heroic being. Okay, so I'm inviting you to become a spiritual warrior, because as we step back and look at the world that we live in today, we can see that there is a battle going on between those who want to dominate and exploit the people of the world and those who stand for love, peace, and harmony. There's a battle going on. The dominators seek to diminish us and eventually destroy any recognition of the divine in our lives and insist that God or universal consciousness or infinite intelligence do not exist. They seek to eliminate the spiritual in favor of the material powers of greed and avarice and lust and ego. So I'm inviting you and encouraging you to become spiritual warriors by adapting a practice of discipline to elevate your consciousness. Put yourself into a meditation or prayer practice every day, at least every morning when you arise and every night before you go to bed. Commit yourself to maintaining ethical behavior, even if it's more profitable to do otherwise, but ethical behavior. Stand up and defend others who are being mistreated because it's the right thing to do, even if it may make you unpopular. And refuse to allow yourself to be involved in gossip and the disparagement of others, because that will diminish you. And finally, refrain from judging others or holding grudges or seeking revenge. No, instead, learn to forgive yourself and learn to forgive others. It's a lot to ask, isn't it? Doesn't that sound like a lot to ask? It is. And it's difficult to accomplish. I'll admit that. It is difficult to accomplish. I mean, that list of things that I just gave you is actually impossible to accomplish if you try and do it on your own, all by yourself. In order to accomplish all that, you must be in alignment and connection to infinite intelligence. You must surrender to infinite intelligence. Only through surrendering through infinite intelligence can you be given the strength, energy, and focus and courage to complete all that. Remember, you are an individualized expression of infinite intelligence. You are an individualized expression of infinite intelligence. And because you are given the strength, energy, focus, and courage to do all that, to complete all that. If you accept that infinite intelligence is all there is, and that you're an individualized expression of infinite intelligence, then it can all come together for you. Because then you'll be tapping into that inexhaustible source, the inexhaustible source. By tapping into the inexhaustible source of infinite intelligence, you will be uplifted and energized. By tapping into the inexhaustible source of infinite intelligence, you will be guided and assisted. By tapping into that source, the inexhaustible source of infinite intelligence, you will be able to rise above the rejection of those who turn their backs on you. You will begin to track those who are seeking the glow of your light, and they will appreciate you. Taking the road of the spiritual warrior. Water, please. Taking the role or the pathway of the spiritual warrior is going to lose you some companionship of those who don't want to go along with you. That's part of the process. You know, they might even make fun of you because you've changed or you're changing. But those detractors will not be able to remain in your space as your vibration rises, and your vibration will rise, and the power of your peace will expand. It will. You know, there's an affirmation I live by that brings me comfort. I've shared it with you before, but let me share it with you again. As my peace grows stronger, all that is opposed to my peace will be changed, or it will be removed from my experience. As my peace grows stronger, all that is opposed to my peace will be changed, or it will be removed from my experience. So those who scorn you or ridicule you, make fun of you, they will change. And if they don't change, they're going to be removed from your experience. And once that negative energy has been cleared out of your universe, infinite intelligence is going to attract to you others who are more in alignment with your thinking, others who feel the way that you do. Infinite intelligence will populate your world with a much more joyous and joyful pool of associates who believe as you do. Believe me, the rewards are worth the sacrifices. But the temporary discomfort of going through the change calls for determination, and it calls for courage. So, do you have the courage to be spiritual? I hope so. Let's close with prayer. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing all of us together into this life so that we may become spiritual warriors and join in the work we have come here to do. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing us into this space of awareness and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationship to life and infinite intelligence. Thank you for showing us who we really are. We open our minds and hearts to the truth of our being. We are the children of God. We are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. And because we are part of the greater whole, we are beginning to understand our value to the continuity of life on this planet. As we become channels of your power, infinite intelligence, we can feel your presence within ourselves and within our lives more and more. And as we know that as we feel your presence within our lives every day, we will rise because we are no longer cut off from you by being immersed in the darkness of fear, anger, and the pain of unforgiveness. So we are now restoring our connection through the grace of forgiveness, knowing that as we learn to forgive ourselves for the pain that we have caused to ourselves, and as we learn to forgive those who have inflicted pain upon us, our connections will grow stronger, and our lives will grow happier and healthier and more prosperous. And for this, we are truly grateful. As above, so below. As within, so without. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today, spending a few minutes with me. Please remember to click on the thumbs up button below. And since we're ending this, if you want to leave any comments, thoughts, or suggestion, you can put them in the comments section below. And if you haven't done it yet, please choose to subscribe. It's right over there in the lower left-hand corner. Click on the logo. In the meantime, I wish you joy and courage, peace and harmony. Please remember, I'm Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind.